Welcome to Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle, where professionals in the field inform, educate and inspire the community to be healthier, more balanced and live the lifestyle they love. Today in the studio we have Caroline Pope, who is an animal communicator and therapist, and today we're going to be discussing animal global awareness, myth or truth. Hi Caroline and welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. So can you tell us, is there animal global awareness? Is it true?
Absolutely it is, yeah. We have the internet, animals have the internet, and in the same way on Messenger, you can see someone's on there, but you don't want to talk to them. They can ignore you or other animals, or they can choose to communicate. And all animals are aware. The geese that fly from north to south and vice versa will literally spread the news. It's almost like in the old days when we only had the telegraph. Animals have always had it. We like to think that we're so superior, and yet the technology, in inverted commas, that they've always known what's gone on in other sections of the world. We're just a little slower to catch up.
Can you please give me some examples of what this is and how it works?
They have thought in exactly the same way we do, and it's the telepathics. I remember on September 11, I was staying at a mate's place, went down later that day to my horse, just looked at him and said, "Do you know about it?" And he said to me, "Yes, we all know about it. We just can't understand it. Can you explain it?" No, not really. But every animal on the planet, because you think how much that was broadcast across. Some of them will have picked up the people in the planes. Some of them will have picked up the pets and pet dogs, pet cats that saw it. The birds will have seen it. And it goes out in the same way it did on our television screens. They know and they understand. Another client of mine was going to Hawaii, and she was doing a communication to make sure the animals knew she'd be back and all those sorts of things. And the cat actually said to her, "Be careful. There's going to be an earthquake." First night at the pub, she's happily half tanked and telling everybody, and they were giving it to her for the rest of the trip. Oh, the earthquake. Day before they were due to leave, guess what there was? A large earthquake. She said it was such a shame it wasn't the second day because everyone was buying her drinks. She could have had a lovely week. But the animals know so much more than we do. And a friend of mine's cockatoo, when we had that earthquake in Melbourne earlier this year, I think it was, or late last year, that was the strongest one we'd had in quite a while. Apparently half an hour before, he's turned around and gone, "Batten down the hatches. There's going to be an earthquake and it's going to be a big one." Sure enough, there was. So they know long before we do. They sense the energy of the earth and they all communicate because they feel it. I mean, you see all the pictures of the elephants heading up before the earthquakes or the tsunamis. Animals have this inbuilt knowledge. It's us humans that are left behind. We really like to think we're so all over it. We are so incredibly isolated from the rest of creation. We really are. And any animal can tune in to any other animal or person anywhere in the world and know what's going on. Friend of mine's cockatoo, it literally saved my life one day. I was really tired, mountain road. I was on my way home. I knew the road well, but it was one that a lot of people had killed themselves on. And he just said to me, "Slow down, look at your speedo." And I was doing 30k faster than I thought I was. If I'd hit that bend, it wouldn't have been pretty. And this is the thing, we are all connected. We forget that in the age that we're in now. You go back 100 years, 200 years, 1,000 years. We were much more interconnected, not only with ourselves, because we needed the community to survive. We weren't isolated. We all lived together. Go back, particularly Europe where there's snow, the animals lived in with you because otherwise they'd all die of cold, as we would have. You got to know the animals intimately on a bunch of levels that most people don't today. And we were connected. It mattered what they did. If they couldn't work or they were exhibiting signs of soreness, it mattered if they were a working animal. It mattered with the crops because if your crops failed, you starved to death. These days we go to the supermarket, we don't think twice. We've become so disconnected. But often, particularly before a large weather event, for example, the animals would let you know. And even today, if it's going to be a really hot summer, the animals will all drop their coat a lot earlier. Then the people would know, oh, okay, we're going to be heading towards a hot summer, or vice versa, cold, wet winter. The animals start growing their coat 2 months earlier. The farmers would know and would try and stock up. We were interconnected. We've lost all of that, or most of that. Some rural areas still have it, but very few. And, these days, the most we do with weather is flip up our phone and look at the weather app. We don't even walk and look outside or know what to do. They used to look at the animals and work out. Quite often, that would be as good or better a weather barometer as listening to the Melbourne Bureau.
And if your animal is behaving oddly, what would be your advice?
There's always, always, always a reason. You need to find it. And don't wait. Don't let it drag out. If your animal's acting oddly, animal therapist, vet, and you may well find, yes, it may well be a massive thunderstorm. A lot of dogs will pace. One of mine used to know any sort of atmospheric pressure he struggled with. So 2 days before a storm, he could be bad. It was really unpleasant for him, poor little guy. But they know. You may find it's an earthquake, but often it's pain. Oddly, there's always a reason, but most times animals will be odd is pain. So always, always get them checked by a healthcare professional as soon as you possibly can.
Well, thank you very much, Caroline. It's been a pleasure. If you want to know more about Caroline Pope and Animal Global Awareness, go to her webpage on our website at healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au, and please stay tuned. We've got another fantastic guest coming after the break.